Bubbly One. Woohoo!
Hey,
Hello, hello, hello.
yo,
Welcome, folks. Welcome. You guys already know what time it is. It's the one and only time where we do a special Friday out shout out art interview. Yay! Once again, once again,
we
once
out here.
again, once again, we are here. Gonna have a great time. Thank you so much, Umar.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. It means a lot. Thank you again.
Yes. So like I told everybody briefly too, but I'll tell it again how I met this awesome guy. Wait. Yep, there we go. Awesome guy over here was through Asayo. If you guys did not see the previous live I did last week Friday, go onto my Facebook page. You'll see that interview. But we did spoke and talk about a little bit of your work through her because you guys actually some collabs in the music business. So everybody, this is an awesome music producer, music writer, music editor, just music creator, and
Thank
not
you.
just that, a visionary activist out here using the art as a form of fashion of works. But I think I could keep on boasting and boasting about you all day, but I think it's just best if you tell the folks, who the heck are you?
Man, what a question. First of all, what a bio. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
I always go with, I'm just some brown kid from Jersey who thinks he could rap, but, you putting that whole thing together, that means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Me, I'm honestly at heart, I'm a philosopher. I'm an artist, and I like to, find ways where I could speak on whatever things I theorize about, whether it's, social theory or anything outside of that, and try to find a way to put it into an artistic language and present to the people in the world, whether it's like, a video cut. Most likely it's going to be music because that's just how I process the world. That's how I kind of feel the world. And it's all just texturized. And I want my production to have texture in it. So if I can take a message that I'm learning, whether it's like, a social issue, whether I'm feeling some type of way about my existential crisis, I want to find a way how I can put that into a sound or put that into a visual or stimulant art form and have that art form fully embody what I'm trying to say.
Gotcha.
So I'm an artist, man. I'm a collaborator. I'm a philosopher. I just like to bring people together, and that's what Farooq Entertainment is about. My Instagram page, it's about working with artists that are just as passionate, putting our different resources together to make something bigger than ourselves.
Yes, Farooq. That's the production. Farooq. We out here. Let me show them a little page too, by the way. So if you're ever interested, please go onto his Instagram right here. It's Farooqit. FAROOQIENT. He shows you all the live awesome entertainment where he goes to show you a little bit of the facts. Now, I would love for you to tell me a little bit about your inspiration and who and what inspires you to do your works as such. Tell me about the beginnings of this industry.
Oh, definitely. I'm not gonna lie, like things like music was never something that was in my blood or something that I was, accustomed to growing up. We listened to music as a family, but it was never something that, we were passionate about ever. And then there was a time, I actually listened to a lot of rock music growing up, actually. And so there was a moment in time where I was transitioning from rock to hip hop in middle school. And I had a very close friend of mine. He was like an older brother, very, very close friend. He had passed away. And it was the first time I had experienced a loss. And, I was like, going through like, I was going through it, feeling, my first ever wave of depression, not knowing what it was, but, it was really strong, like wave of depression. And, when you're in middle school, nobody really knows what a loss is like. So everybody around me was like, "Oh man, get over it. It's gonna be okay," But like, that's not how you feel. And then so I'm watching 8 Mile, and I see Eminem, this rapper, just venting about his shit through poetry, and I'm like, I could do that, So terrible idea, but I tried. And but it felt great. It felt like there, hip hop was the one genre that I felt like I was understood in. I could listen to these rappers and they're speaking about, their own issues and struggles and maybe societal struggles and issues, but it's presented in a way where it's so real to me that I could connect to it. And then it's like I don't, you know, maybe there's some immature people in my life, but hip hop wasn't immature. Hip hop was like, you know, my older brother that it became. And then ever since then, I just started writing. Eminem was my first favorite rapper. I think these days I focus more on the artistry. Kendrick Lamar is my favorite of all time right now. You know, I just love like the masterpieces he's able to put together. But in general, to be honest, like my inspirations shift all the time. As long as you're a true artist and you have like that story and your story is authentic, I'm inspired by you. You know, I'll tune in and I like to listen to like, you know, where were you at when you were 21 and, you know, before Dr. Dre or somebody else signed you? Like, what was the process like? And it's cool because, you know, it makes me feel not so crazy. As an artist, you know, we get so insecure
That's
all the time. And it's like, you know, I go through these super lows. I'm like, man, I'm not meant to do this. But then I realize all my favorite rappers, all my favorite anythings, you know, they all got their own waves where they feel this way as well. So
true.
it's a very vague. I know this is a very vague answer, but my inspirations, you know, there's so many different factors that play into it.
I don't think it was really genuinely fake. I mean, it's a process, you know, it's a cultivating process, and music is so evolutionary. We go
100%.
very, very classical instrument, vocal, very like oh, to all of them like it's really, really cool how rhythm changed, lyrics changed, stories changed because if you really look into the history of music, it's always a story being told through either words or even without the words. And what I really like about what you capture in the essence of it is that you kind of challenge a lot of types of topics dealing with American society of multiple ranges, due to systematic depression and etc. Especially that's one of my faves that you had did on your EP, and I was like really fascinated about that the lyrics and words choice. Can you tell me a little bit more? And I'll definitely show the peeps that music video that I did.
Word, thank you. Yeah, that song. It's so the full song. It's called Southpaw. It's a two-part song, and it's, you know, named after the movie Southpaw. And Southpaw is a, you know, it's like a traditional boxing movie, but it's done well in a way where it really like drives in. You know how like most like sports movies, like, you know, that the athlete isn't on top of the world in the beginning, and then something tragic happens, and then they gotta climb back up, like, you know, traditional Rocky movie. But this one like really drives in the depression. It's a very tragic movie, and so like, you know, the EP, my EP called Directed. Each song was named after a movie, and for the last song, I chose Southpaw, and the reason why I really wanted to paint the picture of my fight against depression itself, and really just paint the South, the first part, painting the picture of the spiraling downwards and everything that's in your mind, the depression sabotaging it to make you turn against not only the negative stuff in your life, but also the blessings. You know, if you listen to the first part of the song, I'm talking a whole lot of shit about, you know, not only the negatives and things I'm resentful towards, like maybe capitalistic America, or maybe, you know, the colorism that's been set by the British when they took over India as a nation, and then ultimately turned Muslims and Sikhs and Hindus against each other. But also towards the blessings, like, you know, I've gotten a very beautiful opportunity to have have a scholarship at Rutgers University, and, you know, like when you're in that state of thought, you know, it's very easy to just say like F you to everybody. Like, what's the point of life? And so that's why it's a two-parter, because the paw, it's really just about the clawing of your way back up. I really try to make sure that the ending of it wasn't so triumphant. You get close to the finish line of like getting over the depression, but I really wanted to focus on like the grit it takes to, like, you know, get back up on the ground. Like the song has like the sense of urgency that's like, you know, you're desperate for survival. It's not just like, oh, okay, you know, like I'm gonna love myself again now. No, like it's dark. You know, it's like, you know, when you get that close to like falling so low, like your only choice is to make sure like you go full force back up. You know, and it's not to say that it gets healed in that quickly. No, but it means that, you know, you need to want to get better. And then that's why in this little video, it's not a full music video, but I highlighted the part. Yeah, it's like a little visual, you know. I highlighted the part where I'm singing at the end, like, you know, you don't gotta go hide it because I feel your pain. You know, just trying to put that message out there where, like, we all have our own demons, we all have it, but we can, like, once we open up about it and show each other why we feel each other's pain, that's when we don't feel so alone, and that's when the spiraling doesn't go that low.
True. I want to make sure this one right here is the correct video, correct?
Yes.
Gotcha. So let's the peeps hear about Southpaw.
You don't gotta go hide it because I feel your pain. You don't gotta go hide it because I feel your pain. You don't gotta go hide it because I feel your pain. You don't gotta go hide it because I feel your pain. You don't gotta go hide it because I feel your pain. You don't gotta go hide it because I feel your pain. You don't gotta go hide it because I feel your pain. You don't gotta go hide it because I feel your pain. Feel your pain. Feel your pain. Feel your pain.
I do plan on putting together an official music video. This is, like I said, this is just a visual highlighting towards the end of the song. But yeah, a little bit of an advertisement for the EP. So yeah.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Okay, we
appreciate you.
Flight into it. And then I'm glad that you mentioned about your EP. Folks can see it on Spotify, especially if they wanted to get a little bit of the download. And you do have it on Apple too.
Yeah, it's on everywhere. It's on YouTube, Apple Music, Amazon. If you're into that, all that stuff.
And one
so it's called.
Oh, go ahead.
No, it's called Directed by Umar Farooq. It's like the EP is called Directed, and my name is Umar Farooq. So there you have it.
100%.
Oh, you were saying? I'm sorry.
And then I could show the other folks too with Asaya. That was dope.
Word. Oh yeah, by the way, that last song you just played, Asaya, is featured on that. So for those of you who tuned in to the interview last week, check out Southpaw. Asaya's on the track. Shout out to Saya. Much love.
This one was my number one.
It's most people's favorite. Yeah.
This is like tell me, like, we'll play the video and then you could tell me a little bit more in depth about this song and this music video and how this was the process of everything. So I want to show the peeps detail of this video. Everybody check this one out. This is my fave.
I'm on a mission to go back to Mars, and I took my throne back from all of y'all. Hit him with the lyrical punch, out of my way. Then I spit a bullet right at your heart, don't ricochet. If you hit me, then I bring out the guts, don't feel the pain. If you hit my stomach, bring out the guts, don't get away. It's because of my skin, want me to lose? You never seen no more, ran a rapper automatically. Want me resting in peace, wearing short means. Hear this rap of my people, you wanna call the police. Thinking I'm a terrorist, I gotta get out of here. And you bot when they thinking I'ma blow up in beer. I'm on a mission to go back to
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Oh man. You gotta go in details about that one.
Man. Oh man, it's crazy. It's crazy how like that's a lot of people's favorite track. Or like, the most bumped track during the time especially. And it's crazy. And I say that's crazy because it's like one of my least favorite tracks I put out. I'm very happy when it comes to the quality of the production. I'm really happy with my delivery. I like my flow on it. I just looking back, the reason why I'm so dissatisfied with it actually is because I know my intent going into the song was I look back and it feels half-assed. I'm not gonna lie. So what I mean by that is, yes, I'm very passionate about speaking about, struggles that maybe brown Americans go through. Pakistani Americans go through, people of color go through, especially in white America, and also like talking about this is like right after, maybe like a year or two after Donald Trump became president, and how the racism or like the Islamophobia was coming back up, around the Central Jersey area. There's a couple people I knew who was like to my face on Twitter, be like, "Oh, you're a fucking terrorist," right? And then so out of anger, I'm like, no, I want to establish my dominance, as a Muslim American, right? And so, but like, so the reason that intent is all pure, it was awesome. But the reason why I feel a little some type of way about it is because, I don't think I put much thought into the process of creating this. I just found some exotic sounding trap song, trap beat, bought it from the producer, and when I read the lyrics to myself, I'm like, I don't feel like I'm saying enough. But then again, this is years ago. I was still finding myself as an artist. Yes. That was one of probably like that was still like a clever way to put something out. People really love that that sporadic flow on a trap beat. And if that's what it's going to take for people to listen, people like the song, and I'm glad I was able to still get that message out one way or another.
It's true.
And yeah,
like,
and then
that was your beginning. That was your real cultivating the beginning of really being in the depths of the field, you know?
Yeah.
And just like how I told you before too, and I'll tell the folks too, you know, when we do our work and our craft in the beginning, it's going to start off, you know, here and there, things we're gonna like, things we're not gonna like. But when you keep on defining the craft, you know, it gets
sharpen the blade.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
and that's what I really like about your music, because you show that beautiful transition and you have no problem on.
I appreciate that. That means a lot. Thank you.
And I know recently you too have been involved with the Black Lives Matter protests as well, that you have been interacting and putting your own twist in the art field music into it too. I'm going to show the peeps about that cool video that you did with that rap, because that was definitely that I felt really, I was in Foogie. Hey, bro.
Hey, thank you.
Foogie Oogie. So before I show them that video, definitely tell me how the experience has been, you participating and being actively into the community of, you know, the Black Lives Matter movement as well.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, I was raised by hip hop, and I'm like, I partake in the hip hop community. Like, I'm a rapper. I'm a producer. I cannot afford to be the type of person that would be like, you know, one foot into the doorway and then one foot out, meaning like, you know, like, I appreciate the rap music, but, you know, the Black Lives Matter, like, no, come on. And I'm also a social justice minor. I'm passionate about this stuff, so, like, you know, like, it's like a no-brainer to be able to, like, you know, if you're going to partake into this into hip hop culture, you're going to be a guest in the house, you have to respect it. And, you know, it's not even about just making a political thing. You know, we're talking about people's rights, right? And so, you know, when the Black Lives Matter movement reaching its most, like, you know, I don't want to say trendy, because but that's how people are kind of like taking it in as social media. It's become kind of like a trend. You know, I would like for this to last as if, like, with genuine care and love and passion, rather than everybody just posting. But it was gaining the most of its attention, right after the George Floyd incident. And there was a lot of anxiety building up. You know, it's like, you know, it was, you know, I was avoiding watching the video. I mean, I was already educated myself and read the headlines, but I avoided watching the video. It's just too painful. And there was a lot of, like, momentum building up. It's like, I just wanted to, like, explode and talk about it, but, you know, it was just so depressing everywhere. It's like, where do I even begin? And then the protests started coming up, and I'm like, I realized, you know, like, this momentum is only going to get worse the longer, the more I don't speak out. You know what I mean? Not that I've never spoken out. It's just that, like, you know, if I'm gonna write music, I might as well write about this. You know, there's literally no reason why I can't. There's no reason why I can't. And especially because that was, like, before I made the decision to go out to the protest, you know? So before I was going to the protest, and I was like, I might as well. And I also didn't want to do it in a pretentious way where I'm like, you know, just sounding like I'm hopping on a bandwagon. Even though you could listen to my music, I'm talking about issues like this and all of my music. I wanted to make sure that my message was clear. That song was really aimed towards Pakistani Americans who do not support the movement. You know, I feel like, as a brown American, as a voice, as a rapper, you know, it's my responsibility to call out the colorism that stems from racism. You know, in my culture. You know, I talk about how, like, you know, in Southpaw, for example, where, you know, back in the day, India and Pakistan were one nation, and then the British came over and they kind of conquered the land, and, you know, it was under British reign for a while. And what the British did was they labeled everybody. They, like, oh, you're a Muslim, you're a Hindu, you're a Sikh. Made everybody turn on each other. And then also with their influence, like, Eurocentrism was huge. You know, now, like, the bleach cream market is huge, and because, like, want to lighten our skin, and these are the values that were instilled in me as well growing up, before I kind of just woke up. I also realized that because we value lighter skin so much, we also, as a culture, have gained, like, a very strong sense of racism and almost hatred against Black Americans, you know? And so when we come to America, I have a lot of relatives that, you know, I'm not going to name, but I have a lot of relatives that give me certain looks or feel some type of way when they know I'm interacting with a Black person, which like is mind-boggling to me. Or, you know, maybe they're not feeling some type of way when I talk about like Black American issues and struggles, but they'll use the N word very openly with, you know, disrespect. And this song was basically just called that out. It's like, you know, why do we only care when Trump says something about Muslims being terrorists? Why do we only care when a Black person is Muslim? Why do we only act like we care when people are looking at us, but when we close the door, like, what the fuck, you know? Like we can't, you know, we can't expect change until all of us people of color on board are supporting each other. 100%.
So, you know, I think now this is the perfect time to intro into that awesome little video.
Yeah. Check it out, come on, hey, check it out, check it out, I know they say that people of color cannot be racist. My entire life I heard my aunties and uncles complaining how their skin is dark, therefore they cannot feel all beautiful. Take the lid off bleach creams and feed them to the youth. Come on, fast forward modern America where we immigrate, adopted white supremacist ideologies, living in houses where our older brothers and sisters are preaching how the Black people ugly. Us out there feeling like, really bitch, we only get up when they call us fucking terrorists. We only give a fuck if Black people are Muslim. We only give a fuck when somebody is looking. When we close the door, it's back to reality. I am living middle upper class. Brown people be selling out. Rather take $1,000 and open their fucking mouth. Wanna live like Caucasians but acting like they are Black. I'm speaking from my experience. Used to be just like that. Let's talk about it. Every morning 8th grade I put on makeup, lighten up my skin. I think
Yeah, that wasn't the full video. My fault. I think the full video was the other one, but
it's
the message, you know.
It's not good. Now, if they want to see more,
most definitely
on your Instagram,
hit me up. Let me know what you think.
Here, boy. You really want to know if they really want to see.
You already know.
That's what we doing. And the whole interview is about the whole works. They see the talent, they see the interest, they see pure. Their job is to go and support. You know what I'm saying? Because like it's just mind blowing how you really get into that insight, man. You get into that zone of, you know, that's what made me and you bond, because we first met and everything. And we spoke, you know, over the piece that you got a print of. My Kendrick.
Got it right over here. Hang on, show the people. The Kendrick Lamar one right over there.
A Kendrick Lamar piece right there. Yeah. That was like funny because that's the one that was the art piece me and you like really bond off of and really connected to, because, you know, I have a huge, you know, honor and respect to that guy. You have a huge honor and respect to the guy as well. And we started from talking to that to talking about actual problems about the social injustice and racial, you know, discrimination of one another, and how we in our own communities do it to our own people too. Yeah. And what's really fascinating is that you take that subliminal situation and issues of things people don't really see under the line. Like we see it in front, of course we see, sad to say, but like when we see and hear these situations that happen to innocent lives of the Black community, you know, we don't really see the before it even gets to that underlying part, the racial profiling, well, I have Black friends. Like when we say things in that case, you know, we're kind of supporting the whole idea of white supremacy. But what you
100%.
You take that art form, make it into a whole voice of situations that are voiceless. You know, we as a community do need to use, especially the artists, we have a special important job. Our job is to speak or even just showcase the voiceless. And that's fascinating how you use your rapping skills. You learn from your rapping skills. You took the history of the rapping skills and you made it into your own, you know, flavor.
Wow, that's incredible. I appreciate, you taking the time to dig that out of my music. A lot of people, people listen and then like, oh, this is dope. But when
Yeah.
people do take the time to pick up on my intent, that means the world to me. This is what makes me come alive. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much for, I think especially like the mental health portion aspect of it all. We all these subliminal issues within our society, are all like cemented by the suppression of talking about mental health. It doesn't matter how you feel, get your work done. That's what we're taught by white capitalism, by white America, by white supremacy. And then you have all these like years and years and years of like just built up trauma in everybody, but that they don't even know about because they can't vocalize how they're feeling. And I'm really very, very, very grateful that rap music especially, is moving towards that direction where we're talking about mental health and how that's affected by societal issues and how they're feeding each other and how they're feeding each other. And it's until we are aware of both of these scenarios, that's when we can take a step to make a change.
And then this brings me to my awesome last lovely question. How do you use your art, aka the rap and aka the music business, the industry, the gang? How do you use your beautiful spiritual gift to change the world?
I start with damn, that's a question. Because there's so many different like ambitions I have, but I think at the most personal level that I can identify with is through the collaboration. Through the collaboration that the people within our circle can appreciate. So what I mean by that is like, I formed Farooq Entertainment, which is, an entertainment, I guess you could call it a service, but right now I'm still trying to like grow the portfolio with the immediate artists I'm affiliated with. That's including Asaya, that's including Amy. That we're not like a group where they're signed under me or anything. It's more of like an affiliation, a relationship where we, like I said before, put our resources together to create something bigger than ourselves. So the goal of Farooq Entertainment is to create through collaboration, whether it's a video, a song, borrow some vocals for Asaya in exchange for some video production, or have Yami come through, play the guitar on a certain track, to create a message that transcends your computer screen, that reaches out to the local community, that speaks to social injustice. It speaks to all these problems that some people might not have the luxury of being able to talk about, depending on what type of situation they're in. So I think we start by changing the world by like, really being, as cliche as it sounds, like being the change, being the catalyst to the conversation. And when I dropped that song, the Black Lives Matter track, I was actually pretty surprised that like brown Americans were happy with the message. A lot of them were like, yo, this is dope. We appreciate you like talking about the biases in our culture. I was expecting a lot of hate from my people, because I know I could like name at least 7 people right off the top of my head who I know probably didn't like the song and who I know would probably take offense to it. But, thankfully the positivity was louder this time. The positivity was, it's maybe I'm not making the most profound change in New Jersey, but I'm changing one person's, not changing, but challenging. I don't want to say I'm changing it. I think you're responsible for your own change, but we can at least spark and plant the seed or to challenge our biases, our stereotypical notions about other people. Yo, appreciate you.
I just love you, man. Like,
I love you too. I love you too.
Man, I'm gonna hug you and dab you up, bro, because that's so true.
Hey.
Dang, man, like, man, you guys don't know, bro. You don't know about Foogie Oogie. I always call it Foogie Oogie ever since I met you, man. I was like, yo,
Appreciate you.
Thank you so much, man, for your time. I truly appreciate you joining me on this special project. Once again, it's a huge, huge honor to see your career, your lifestyle, your whole artistry, your rap skills just take to a whole nother level. And I genuinely appreciate you coming onto my page, sharing one another stories, passion, and just the drive of what is really genuinely needed, not just in one form of art, but multiple forms of art. And we can adapt this beautiful philosophy into our own adaptation, into our own mindsets, or even just to our creativity to really actually speak to one another. So I'm so gracious about actually having this time with you. And I hope every one and single one of you enjoyed this beautiful live. Once again, you guys, this was the beautiful Umar.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Your words are too kind. That means the world to me. Much love to you. And y'all got to check out our art if you haven't already. If you guys just stumbling across from my side, check out our art, yo. Drop the Instagram, the ad.
Yeah.
I know you have 2 accounts.
Oh yeah, you got this account right here.
Oh no, I'm talking about yours. My fault.
Oh, no,
I was talking about yours.
Everybody know about mine already.
Just in case some people from my side stumble across. Appreciate you. I want to give you the shout out. She's an amazing artist. Amazing.
100%. Definitely. I totally forgot about your peeps. Definitely, if you guys ever
look at that. Those are dots. Those are dots, man. Those are tiny dots.
This is my recent piece.
Those are post-it notes on that border, and it was made out of dots. Crazy, man.
He always goes crazy and wild when he sees my artwork.
Hey, man, I see and feel texture when I look at art or listen to art. So 100%. It's wonderful. I love it.
Yeah, so definitely, you guys. Once again, I truly appreciate every single one of your time. I appreciate your time. Definitely coming through, being the amazing visionary person you are. And everybody, I hope you had a great time spending time with each other. Once again, we're going to love one another. We're going to hug one another virtually, safely, cautiously. Amen. But overall, we're going to be here for one another and do art together. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, my focus. Okay.
Love always. Thank you for having me.
So everybody, you guys stay blessed. Bye.